Today I'm going to take you on a tour of not one, not two, but three pre-construction communities right here on the west end of Kitchener, Ontario. And it's going to be a very diverse overview. So whether you are a buyer with a budget of $500,000 all the way to $1.5 million, we have got you covered. There's an option for every budget right here in this video. So you definitely don't want to miss out if you are in search of a pre-construction home in one of the best neighborhoods you can find in Kitchener, Ontario. Stay tuned, and if you do stick around until the end, I'll also share with you a great incentive that you can avail as a buyer of any of these pre-construction communities. By working with me, that'll mean thousands of dollars back in your pocket at the time of closing. So you definitely don't want to miss out. Stay tuned. Let's get right into it. By the way, if this is your first time to this channel, be sure to subscribe and tap on the bell for notifications so you're the first to learn about the current market in and around Kitchener, Ontario. My name is Dixit. I'm a local real estate agent serving Kitchener and surrounding towns. I help many families with their move in and around Kitchener, Ontario, and I absolutely love it. So whether you're thinking of moving in 9 days or 9 months, be sure to reach out. You can give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or you can even schedule a Zoom call. All the info you will find right below in the description. I'll be more than happy to help you and your family make a smooth move in and around Kitchener, Ontario. So right now, I'm in the RBJ Schlegel Park, and this is the park that's located on the west end of Kitchener. It's actually one of the newest parks you will find in Kitchener, Ontario. And this park is definitely a must check out place. You can call it the center of attraction for many people living in and around this neighborhood. This park is located in just next to the Huron South neighborhood. So people living in Trustler, Huron South, Laurentian West, Laurentian Hills, as well as the Highland West. All those people living on the west end border of Kitchener, this park will be a go-to place for them. I mean, we live in Highland West, me and my family, and this is a go-to park for us. So whether you're a family, like a young family with kids, or you are grown-ups, there's something for everyone to do here in this park. I mean, where can I start? I mean, there are 2 soccer fields. You even got a cricket pitch there. Obviously, you can probably see behind me, there is a splash pad, and there's a kids playground, as well as the jungle gym. You got an artificial turf. There are 2 pickleball courts. There's a basketball court. So everything you need and you can find in a park, all the fun activities, they're right there, located right here in this park. So definitely a must check out for you if you are living in Kitchener, Ontario. But if you're not, well, if you do live in and around this neighborhood that I just mentioned, definitely this would be a go-to park for you and your family. But here's what I'm going to do. The reason I'm in this park is because just about 3-minute drive from where I am right now, that's where our first newly developed community is coming up. It's by the Fusion Homes. So what we're going to do is I'll show you around this neighborhood a little bit. It's about a 3-minute drive from where I am right now. So we'll take a drive. You can see along with me the drive. So you get to see the neighborhood up close and personal. And then I'll meet you at my first stop. We'll look at the first option, which is going to be an urban townhome community. That's, like I said, 3 minutes from this park. So stay tuned. Let's get right into it. All right, so I'm at my first stop here, and there you can see like Fusion Homes right behind me. That's the presentation center for Wollaston Urban Townhomes. You're looking at condo townhome community that's coming up in this neighborhood of Huron South. In terms of the square footage, you're looking at somewhere between like close to 1,000 square feet, so 975 all the way to 1,400 square feet. There are different floor plans available within this community, and in terms of the price point, you are looking at somewhere between mid-6 to mid-700,000 price point for these condo townhomes. Now, obviously, because they are condo townhomes, there is going to be a condominium fee, and the monthly condo fee for this community is going to be $201 per month. In terms of closing, you are looking at pretty much a move-in ready home. So there are homes that are pretty much ready to move in, and you can get it as early as next month. And then you have closings all the way to January of next month. So I'll still say kind of a quick closing. You're not getting that 12 or 18 months closing with this community at least, but there is an assignment that's available as an option, and the development charges are capped at $0. Now, in case you're not sure, always make sure whenever you get into a pre-construction home, that the development charges by the builders are capped at either $0, that's the best option for you. But if not, there has to be a certain reasonable cap. For example, for some builders, it is capped at, for example, $5,000. So at least, there are any development charges to be levied by the city, then, it won't be transferred over to you as a buyer of those homes. So for this community, like I said, it's capped at $0. But just to tell you a little bit about this neighborhood. So again, just see, this is the whole community of the, similar homes. And basically we are adding more to the same neighborhood. But the majority of this neighborhood is pretty much built on and after 2005. So if you are, let's say, not even looking for a brand new homes, but let's say in a resale market, something that's not older than 15 to 20 years at the most, you'll find plenty of options right here in the Huron South neighborhood. In fact, I've done a whole video about this neighborhood that's on my channel, so be sure to check it out. But to tell you a little bit about it, like, there is still a lot of new development that's happening in terms of shopping and some of the amenities that are still getting developed. Just a couple of years ago, there's a brand new Catholic elementary school that built right here at the heart of this neighborhood. But although there's still a lot of development that's been ongoing in this Huron South neighborhood. I mean, you probably see on the video when we were trying to get here, there's a new shopping plaza that's coming up with some of the anchor stores such as Longo's, Starbucks, Burger King, and there's another plaza right here in this neighborhood too with Food Basics, Dollarama, and all the things like restaurants you need, shopping, dining, all those things that you need on a regular basis, you'll find here at your doorstep. So that's the best part of it. Even though you are getting into a newer community, all the amenities are still at your doorstep. So what I'm going to do is jump back in my car, show you a bit around this neighborhood, and then I'm going to see you at my second community, which is again going to be our townhome as well as the detached home community. We'll take a look at both of them, but you do stick around and let's get right into it. Okay, so we are at the second stop here, and there are actually a couple of builders who are building extensively right here in this neighborhood. So you see the other side of this roundabout is where Fusion Homes is building, and then if I turn around and if you see here right behind me, that's where Activa is building townhomes ranging anywhere from around 1,300 square feet all the way to 2,000 square feet. But we'll get into the details about these projects. But before that, I want to tell you a few things you need to know about this neighborhood. So we are in the Trussler neighborhood, basically kind of further west from Huron South. So, you are pretty much at the border of Kitchener and Waterloo at this point living in this neighborhood. And the best part of that is now that you live at the border of these both towns, you have access to great amenities, not just in Kitchener, but also in the town of Waterloo. Like, to give you a simple example, if you were to access the Boardwalk Plaza, which is an outdoor strip plaza, that's going to be like 5 minutes from here. But at the same time, if you were to go to Kitchener Fairway Park Mall, which is an indoor mall, that's going to be about 10 to 12 minute drive. But if you are a rather commuter, I have a good news for you. Highway 8 is going to be just at your doorstep, literally 2 minutes to get you onto Highway 8 going east or west. If you have to take Highway 401, you're looking about another 10 to 12 minutes after you hit Highway 8. So if you still have to, let's say, commute to Greater Toronto area, it's still not bad. The fact that you barely have to drive internally after you exit the Highway 8. So within this community, Activa is building both the townhomes in variety of shapes and sizes, as well as the single detached homes. Well, let's talk about the townhome first. What you see right behind me, this is the kind of modern elevation you will get. What you're looking at are townhomes ranging in variety of layouts. Basically, you have options to choose from stacked townhomes, rear garage townhomes, 2-story back-to-back townhomes, and then you have 3-story townhomes. So the amount of options you get in this community is just awesome. You're looking at somewhere between 1,300 all the way to 2,000 square feet, somewhere between 2 to 4 bedroom. Obviously, as you go close to 1,800 and above, they're going to be like 4-bedroom townhomes. And then anything under that, it's going to be somewhere between 2 to 3 bedrooms, and you're looking at 2.5 or 3.5 bathroom. But like I said, the amount of options you get in terms of layout, the floor plan is just awesome. There is a condo fee associated with the townhomes, and that does range somewhere between 250 all the way to 385, depending on the floor plan, the layout, and the model that you go with. And in terms of closing, you are looking at somewhere between June of this year, 2024, all the way to March of 2025. So it's gonna be somewhere between 8 to 12 months closing. That's what you're looking at with any of these models. In terms of deposit, you are looking at somewhere between 10 to 15% deposit, depending on the floor plan, the model, and the layout you go with. Finally, in terms of the price point, you are looking at 560 at the starting range all the way to 800,000. I know that's a wide range, but that's partly because of the amount of options you have to choose different model, different layout, different sizes. So obviously, as you go close to 1,800 to 2,000 square feet, that's going to be more so into the high 7s, low 8s. But somewhere like a stacked townhome, they're going to be more so into the mid 500 range. But the lowest price unit right now in this community is $560,000. So that's the price range you're working with if you were to look at one of these townhome options. Now, if you were to find out more about it, be sure to reach out. Obviously, you know my details in the description, and I'll be happy to get more granular with you, share some more details about this particular project with you. Now, let's talk about the available options in the detached homes by Activa within the same community. So you're looking at 3 options: 30 feet, 36 feet, and 43 feet wide lots. 30 feet wide lots will go in the size ranging from 1,600 all the way to 2,000 square feet. In terms of 36, that's where you will get a little bit more space. You're looking at about somewhere between 23 to 2,700 square feet of above grade living space. And if you were to go for 43 feet wide lots, that's going to be somewhere around 2,700 all the way to 3,300 square feet of above grade living space. In terms of price range for the detached homes, you are looking at somewhere between $940,000 all the way to $1.4 million, depending, of course, the lot size, the floor plan, the model that you go with, and of course, if there are any lot premiums. And for the closing of detached homes, you are looking at somewhere between June of next year, 2025, all the way to November. So that's where you will get that 12 to 18 months of closing, which is pretty typical for some of the builders here in Kitchener. And this is where you will get, if you were to buy a detached, that's where you're looking at 12 to 18 months closing, depending on the floor plan and the layout you go with. You will be getting somewhere between June of next year all the way to November of 2025. So there you go. Now we know your options about both the townhomes as well as the single detached homes by Activa Homes in the Trussler West community. So what I'm gonna do now is drive around this part of the community where Activa has already built some homes. They have been actually building since the COVID times. I think it was somewhere around 2021 when this community was first launched. So I'll show you some homes that are already built so you get some idea as to what are the type of homes you're looking at and get some decent idea about the communities. And then I'll jump on the other side of the roundabout where Fusion Homes is building some pretty decently sized detached homes, and we'll talk a little bit about that. So stay tuned and let's take a look at the community itself. So now we are on the other side of the same community where we do have Fusion Homes that is building single detached homes on a 36 and 40 feet wide lots. So just look at it. Right across the street, that's where you have Activa Presentation Center. This is where they're building those urban townhomes we just walked past. And right across here, this is where the Fusion Home Sales Center is. And right along that line is where you see the lots already numbered. So you can pick one of the lots. They're going all the way around the crescent. You have options to choose from walkout lots, there are lookout lots, lots pie-shaped, as well as the lots backing onto the green belt. So you have plenty of options even with the Fusion Homes. The only thing you don't have is if you're rather looking for a 30 feet wide lot, Activa would be the one to go with. If you were to go with Fusion, you have an option to choose from 36 and 40 feet wide lots. Now, one more thing worth noting, unlike Activa, that you have an option to go for 12 to 18 months closing, Fusion Homes, you are looking at closing at some point this year, most likely. Those are rather quicker closing. So if you are looking for a little bit longer closing, depending on what your situation is, Activa will give you a little bit more flexibility. But on the other end, if you're rather looking for a quicker closing, let's say if it's a job situation or whatever that may be, well, Fusion will give you that quicker closing option. So that's why you have plenty of options to choose from within the same community, and that's the best part of it. If I were to talk about a 36 feet wide lot, you're looking about 19 to 2600 square feet layouts to choose from, and they are ranging from somewhere around $1.2 to $1.3 million. And you are looking at 10% deposit. Because they are quicker closing, you can work with 10% deposit even at this price point. Now, if you are a rather investor, just keep in mind, you will have to pay 15% deposit for the same lots because that's the deposit structure by the builder for the investments. Now, in terms of the 40 feet wide lots, you do have an option to choose floor plans anywhere from 2350 square feet all the way to 3300 square feet. And the price does range from $1.3 million all the way to $1.5 million is what you're looking at for a 40 feet wider lots. So that's a little bit about the Trussler West community by Fusion Homes. Now, if you want to know more details about any of the communities I mentioned in this video, be sure to shoot me a text or send me an email or give me a call. I'll be happy to get into more details with you. Obviously, it's a wider price range from $500,000 all the way to $1.5. So we can always get more granular, dive a little bit deeper, and find exactly what's suitable for your budget and for your requirements. Now, I promised at the beginning of this video that if you do stick until the end, I'll share with you a great incentive that you can avail. So here it is. If you choose to work with me and buy a unit at any of these communities I mentioned in this video, you will get 10% cash back of my commission. So my gross commission, out of that, 10% cash will be back to you at the time of closing if you choose to buy a unit at any of these communities that I mentioned in this video. Now, that pretty much is a wrap to this video. What I will do before we end this is drive around this patch of Fusion Home community so you get to see it up close and personal. But I hope you did get some value. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and tap on the bell for notification so you're the first to learn about the current market in and around Kitchener. Once again, whether you're thinking of moving in 9 days or 9 months, be sure to reach out. All the info you'll find right below in the description. I'll be more than happy to help you and family make a smooth move in and around Kitchener, Ontario. Until next time, well, I do hope to see you around town.